Election monitors point out that violating laws in the country by election hoardings are being displayed in all parts of the country. They point out that the display of illegal hoardings are against provincial council laws and the normal law of the country. According to election monitors, setting up election hoardings on expressways is the most extreme point of this violation. Executive Director of PAPRIL, which is an election monitoring body, Rohane Tyarach explains further.
They launched a massive propaganda campaign targeting the election. Photos of candidates have been displayed in all cities. If we take the election into consideration, there are still no official candidates. However, there are a few normal laws with regard to this. For example, provincial council institutes have a responsibility to maintain clean and beautiful environments. If cutouts have been displayed in a certain province, the provincial council can obtain tax money. They also have the right to remove them. Police can also act under the environmental law. Unfortunately, these laws are not implemented.
Meanwhile, Kirti Tennakoon, the executive director of CAFE, which is another election monitoring body, says that provincial councils are losing a lot of money by not charging tax money for hoardings that are displayed.
After the announcement of the presidential election 2015, there were 6 incidents of election violence, and 4 incidents out of the 6 very serious violence incidents are related to the using of firearms. And that itself indicates that at the very beginning of this presidential elections, we are receiving a very serious election violence incidents, because during the last elections, we have never seen these sort of using of firearms at the very beginning of the election. And in the same time, we have noticed over 1,800 cutouts were displayed. Most of them are related directly to the election campaigns of the presidential elections now throughout the country, mostly in the urban areas of the Colombo and other areas. And we have wrote to the Colombo Municipal Council and Kotte and Haduela areas to address the issue that these cutouts are not paid relevant taxes to the relevant local authorities. According to the Local Authority Act, whenever these sort of propaganda materials are displayed, they have to pay the relevant taxes to these local bodies. But in this case, most of the time, the political parties and politicians are doing their propaganda materials displayed on these urban areas. They are not paying taxes. So we request the mayor of Colombo and the other mayors and the chairmen of the Pradeshia Sabhas yesterday to address this issue. If they are not paying these relevant taxes, they can remove it. That's the most reasonable practice what they are doing throughout the years, because they are taxing the small vendors, the teledrama producers and all that. But for these political acts, they are not charging that. And in the same time, we have read to the election commissioner to address this issue. Now we try to persuade the Auditor General that they have to address this issue, because so much of money has not collected to the revenues which has to come for these local authorities.
Meanwhile, SSP Ajit Rohan, a police media spokesperson, had this to say about the illegal hoarding displayed for the elections.
The final day of nomination is the 8th of November. So 8th of November, on the 8th of November, the election commissioner will declare the candidates in respect of the presidential election. Apart from that, their parties. So we are going to implement the election law from the 8th of November, because according to the Presidential Election Act, it stated about the candidates, their photos and the party symbols. All these items are prohibited. Cutouts are cut out, so the banners they are also prohibited according to the election law. But so far we cannot decide it. But if there are displays on roads, so according to the environmental laws, and apart from that local government laws, so action could be taken. but the election law cannot be implemented unless the election commissioner declares the candidates and he has to accept the nominations from the parties, and thereafter he should declare it.